Hey guys, tonight we slip into the shadows of feudal Japan, where the sun hasn't even risen, and you, a skilled ninja, are already awake, waiting for the first whispers of dawn. The ground is cold beneath your bare feet, and the morning mist still clings to the world like a secret. You begin with a stretch, not just of the body, but of your senses. Every tiny sound, every subtle movement is part of your world now. You can hear the faint rustling of leaves in the distance, the soft crackle of a branch underfoot as a fellow ninja shifts into position nearby. It's quiet, unnervingly so, but that's how it needs to be. There's no room for mistakes in your line of work. You start your training, moving through the dense, low-hanging trees with the ease of someone who's been here 1,000 times before. You are but a shadow among shadows, your footfalls barely disturbing the dust beneath you. The art of stealth is your craft, and today's lesson is in blending seamlessly with the environment. Every movement you make is purposeful, controlled. This is how you survive in a world where your very existence must remain a secret. You raise a hand to wipe away the sweat that forms on your brow. But you are careful, such movements are a luxury you don't have. Historians still argue about the true origins of the ninja, some believing they were simply peasants trained in espionage, others suggesting they were a mysterious group with ancient roots tied to religious practices. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain: ninjas were deadly effective. And so, you continue your work, blending in with the natural surroundings, practicing the very fundamentals that keep you hidden in plain sight. The flick of your wrist, the quiet swish of a blade through the air, the rapid but silent movement of your body. You are an instrument of silence, a ghost in the landscape. But even in the calm, there's a sharp awareness in you. It's not all about being unseen, it's about being unpredictable. A ninja is nothing without the ability to surprise, to strike from the shadows when least expected. You push yourself further, slipping in and out of sight with the precision of a skilled predator. This is your life a dance with shadows. By the time the sun begins to creep into the sky, you have already completed your first mission of the day: the art of becoming invisible. Now, it's time for the next step, living in the village, blending with the common folk. The sun has barely kissed the horizon as you make your way toward the hidden village. A place of refuge for those like you ninja, trained assassins, spies, and saboteurs who live under the cover of darkness. The village is quiet, nestled between mist-covered hills, far from the bustling centers of samurai life. It's a place where ordinary villagers, unaware of the clandestine life around them, go about their daily business. Here, you are just another face in the crowd, just another farmer or tradesman. You blend into the routine of life, moving in sync with your fellow villagers. No one would ever suspect the true nature of the people that surround you. You pass by an elderly woman selling vegetables, her cart heavy with the produce she's grown. Her hands shake slightly as she hands you a bundle of radishes, but you don't mind. Your transaction is quick, efficient, just like everything you do. You nod and move on, keeping your head down. But not too far, there's always the chance that you'll catch a glance of someone who's been sent to spy on you. The art of being ordinary, of vanishing into the mundane, is as much a part of your training as the weapons you wield. The village itself is a well-kept secret. Nestled between dense forests, the layout is carefully designed to remain hidden. Even the houses seem unremarkable, simple wooden structures that wouldn't raise an eyebrow in the busiest of towns. In fact, you've often wondered how many of the villagers are truly unaware of the true nature of this place. You've been taught to observe without being seen, and today, that's your job. You've come here not just to rest or to blend in, but to gather information. There's always something to be learned from the people around you, even if that knowledge is never spoken aloud. Every interaction is a chance to observe a potential target, to identify weaknesses, to gather intelligence. Historians still argue whether the ninja were primarily assassins or spies, with some suggesting they were first and foremost masterful infiltrators. They were trained to move like water, adapting to their surroundings, infiltrating without leaving a trace. Your role here is to be invisible, to gather whatever secrets might be hidden among the villagers, all while keeping up the facade of being just another face in the crowd. But it's not as easy as it seems. Maintaining your cover means constantly being alert, constantly watching, and always listening. The smallest movement, the faintest whisper, could be the key to a mission's success. As you continue your walk, you pass a group of children playing by the river. Their laughter is innocent, carefree, far from the silent, deadly world you inhabit. Yet, in the back of your mind, you're already analyzing the landscape, identifying escape routes, potential hiding spots. It's automatic, ingrained in you. This village is a world of peace for those who choose to live in it. But for you, it is merely a backdrop to a much larger game of survival. You take a deep breath and continue on. The weight of your purpose pressing down on you as you prepare for the next phase of your day. The village's tranquility offers you little respite. You are, after all, a ninja master of disguise, and today your skills are put to the test in a different way. The art of disguise is just as vital to your survival as stealth or combat. In fact, it may be the most important weapon in your arsenal. The key is to blend in, to become whatever the moment demands, whether it's a merchant peddling goods, a humble farmer, or even a beggar looking for alms. No one is ever supposed to know who you truly are. Today, your task is to become someone else. You sit down in the small, dimly lit corner of a local shop, studying the man who runs it. He's middle-aged, with a face worn by years of hard labor, and his movements are slow and deliberate. His eyes scan the room every few moments, but he's not looking for danger. His mind is on his work. You, on the other hand, are here for a different reason. You're here to observe, to learn his mannerisms, his habits, to absorb every little detail that will make your disguise flawless. As you sit in the corner, pretending to inspect some scrolls, your fingers idly trace the edges of a knife tucked into your sleeve. It's a simple action, but it's all part of the process. Your mind is focused on his every move, the way he arranges his goods, the way he greets customers, even how he stands when leaning over the counter. You'll need all of this. With your new persona, you must mirror him so perfectly that not even the sharpest eyes would suspect anything. You've done it 100 times before, but the challenge never lessens. Historians still debate the significance of disguise in ninja culture. Some say it was the cornerstone of their success, while others argue it was simply one of many tools in their deadly arsenal. But for you, there's no question. Disguise is everything. It allows you to move freely, to get close to your enemies without raising suspicion. It's the art of being invisible in plain sight, of being able to sit in a room full of people without ever revealing your true purpose. The shopkeeper finally notices you and offers a polite smile. You return it, keeping your face neutral, your eyes calm. He talks about the weather, the crops, and the usual town gossip, mundane things that seem trivial, yet they're full of potential. The key to a good disguise is to seem interested in everything while revealing nothing. You nod occasionally, offering brief responses that encourage him to continue. His guard is down, and now you can take in everything about him. His mannerisms, his speech patterns, the way he holds himself. These will all help you become him when the time comes. The art of the ninja is not just about silence and stealth. It's about becoming someone else entirely. Hours pass, and you've gathered enough information to form the base of your new identity. You leave the shop quietly, slipping back into the shadows. You've learned what you needed to, but the work isn't over. A good disguise is only useful if it's put to work in the right situation. And you've got a task ahead that will require every ounce of skill you possess. You pull your hood up, covering your face just enough to be a shadow among shadows, and head to your next destination, where a new role awaits you. The village is bustling now, the sun fully risen and casting long shadows across the wooden buildings. You've already adopted your new persona, a traveling merchant complete with a collection of modest goods you've gathered along your way. You're not the only one out today, though. Other traders and villagers fill the streets, exchanging news, goods, and sometimes secrets. It's in moments like this that you remember the true power of a ninja isn't just in silent kills or quick escapes. It's in the information you gather, the secrets you overhear, and the plans you intercept before they have a chance to unfold. You've been told that there's a target here, someone important enough to be worth your attention, but not so important that they have armed guards watching their every move. This is a delicate mission, one that requires patience and finesse. Your task is simple: gather information. And for that, you must blend into the crowd and wait for your opportunity. The art of espionage is subtle, much like the art of disguise. It's about seeing without being seen, hearing without being heard. As you stroll through the marketplace, you keep your eyes open. There are whispers everywhere. A merchant argues over prices with a customer. A farmer chats with a fellow worker. A couple of samurai discuss a recent battle. Nothing too out of the ordinary, but you don't need anything extraordinary. You need the small details, the subtle hints that something's off. You overhear a conversation about a hidden meeting in the hills to the north. Something about a new alliance being formed with a rival clan. It's the kind of information that could change everything. Historians still argue about the true role of the ninja in feudal Japan. Were they mere mercenaries hired for assassination? Or were they a dedicated intelligence network, gathering secrets for the highest bidder? Some believe they were more like spies, gathering critical information for the ruling samurai. What is clear is that the ninja's ability to infiltrate, eavesdrop, and report back was unrivaled. This, more than any weapon, was the ninja's most valuable asset. You lean against a nearby post, casually adjusting your goods, listening carefully. The words are muffled, but you can make out enough to know that this is the meeting you've been waiting for. You mark the location in your mind and continue to move, letting the conversation slip into the background as you focus on your next step. You'll need to report this back to your masters, but not yet. Not until you know everything. The crowd begins to thin, and you see your target, a local official, someone whose presence here today is anything but casual. He's standing by a food stall, quietly conversing with another man, though his posture suggests he's looking for someone, keeping a watchful eye on the marketplace. You've done this countless times before, but even now you can't help but feel a sense of satisfaction when everything falls into place. You've gathered the information you need, and now it's time to make your move. But just as quickly as the opportunity presents itself, it slips away. The official turns, disappearing into the crowd, his companion following closely behind. Your chance is gone for now, but that's the nature of espionage. It's about waiting for the right moment. You'll bide your time, watching and waiting until the next opportunity arises. Information is power, and you've learned that in the world of ninjas, patience is just as deadly as any blade. The sun begins to dip below the horizon, and with it, the mood of the village shifts. The once bustling streets quiet down, and the last few vendors pack away their goods, preparing for rest. But for you, the night is just beginning. As a ninja, your work happens in the shadows, away from the prying eyes of the day. It's time to inspect your weapons, those essential tools that will aid you in your nightly mission. The sharp edges of your blades, the silent whir of shurikens slicing through the air, and the smooth, quiet hum of your climbing rope are all at your disposal. Tonight, they'll serve a much darker purpose. You retreat to a secluded area behind a small building, a place where you can check your gear in peace. One by one, you pull out the familiar implements of your trade, the kunai, the shuriken, the smoke bombs, and carefully inspect them. Each weapon is an extension of you, honed to perfection over years of training. You run your fingers along the steel edges, testing for sharpness, checking for any signs of wear. Every tool must be ready for action, each one essential for a mission that will test your skill, your patience, and your resolve. Historians still debate how much the ninja's success can be attributed to their weapons. Some argue that they were masters of stealth and intelligence, while others suggest that their toolkits, small but deadly, were the true key to their effectiveness. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain. Without the right equipment, a ninja is just another man. And so, you prepare yourself, making sure that every piece of equipment is in working order, every knot tied just right, every weapon sharpened to perfection. You pause for a moment, taking a deep breath, and then you hear it, the faintest sound, like the rustling of leaves. It's the signal you've been waiting for. The enemy has made their move, and now it's your turn. You slip your weapons back into their hidden pouches and stand up, moving quietly toward the exit. Your mind is calm, focused. The mission is clear. There's no room for doubt. The time has come to put everything you've prepared for into action. As you approach the target area, your mind races. The enemy's supply lines need to be sabotaged, an act of quiet destruction to ensure that their efforts will fail. The enemy has become careless, and that is their mistake. You've been waiting for this moment, watching their movements for days, learning their patterns, understanding their routines. Now you must make your move. With a practiced ease, you begin your work, placing your tools in strategic locations, ready to disrupt the flow of their resources. The act is quick, silent, and effective, just like everything you do. The quiet, efficient sabotage is complete. You stand, hidden in the shadows, watching as the enemy stumbles into their trap. The mission was a success, but there's no time for celebration. Your work is far from over, and the night is still young. You leave the area with the same quiet grace, your footsteps inaudible against the ground. The only sign that you were ever there is the disruption you leave behind, a subtle, silent mark of your presence, known only to those who are paying attention. Historians often emphasize the ninja's capacity for sabotage. It wasn't always about the kill. Sometimes it was about the quiet, calculated destruction of something far more valuable, something that could change the course of a war. The quiet art of sabotage was one of the ninja's most powerful skills, and you've just demonstrated why. As the night deepens, you make your way back to the village. The cool night air brushes against your skin, and you take a moment to breathe, to let the tension of the mission slip away. It's been a successful night, but the path you've chosen never truly ends. There's always another mission, another target, another shadow to slip into. You've done your job well tonight, but tomorrow is another day. The moon is high now, casting a pale light over the quiet streets as you return to the heart of the village. But your mission isn't over, not yet. There is one more task left for tonight, one that requires a level of patience and focus unlike any other. The art of observation is just as crucial to your work as stealth and combat. A good ninja knows not only when to strike, but also when to watch, when to wait, and when to blend into the shadows without a single trace. Tonight, your target is not an enemy to defeat or sabotage. It's a person to observe, a man whose actions may hold the key to the next phase of your mission. You make your way toward a small, inconspicuous tavern, the flickering light from the paper lanterns casting dancing shadows on the ground. Inside, the sounds of low voices, the clinking of cups, and the quiet murmur of a flute player fill the air. It's a place where men come to unwind after a long day. A place where secrets are often traded as easily as coins. You don't seek a fight here, nor do you seek to be seen. Your job is to blend into the background, to become part of the scenery, to listen and observe without drawing attention. You sit at a corner table, your back to the wall, allowing yourself to remain unnoticed by the patrons around you. There's a certain skill in this, a skill that goes beyond simply hiding in the shadows. You don't want to be invisible, no, that would draw attention. You need to be unremarkable, a face no one remembers once you've gone. This is the true art of espionage, not to be noticed, not to be remembered, and certainly not to be suspected. Historians still debate the role of observation in ninja culture. Some say that it was the ninja's ability to infiltrate enemy strongholds and gather critical intelligence that made them invaluable to their masters. Others argue that the ninja's true power lay in their capacity to blend in, to live unnoticed in plain sight. For you, there is no doubt. The ability to gather intelligence, to hear whispers in the dark corners of a tavern like this one, is the bedrock of your profession. Without it, the strikes would be meaningless. Without information, there can be no action. As you watch the room, you catch snippets of conversation, brief but telling. A merchant from the next town over speaks of a caravan leaving for the border, carrying goods that could be of interest. A group of samurai discuss the movements of their lord, and you catch mention of a meeting scheduled for the following night. These are the details that you need, the small pieces of information that may seem insignificant to others, but hold great weight in the grand game you play. You lean in slightly, ensuring that no one notices you taking in these words. Your face remains impassive, your posture relaxed as you sip from your cup. To an outsider, you are just another tired traveler, here for a quiet drink before heading off to bed. But inside, your mind is already piecing things together, connecting dots that others might miss. You remember the meeting in the hills you overheard earlier in the day, and now this an alliance being formed, a caravan transporting goods. The pieces are falling into place. The night stretches on, and you remain in your spot, watching, listening. It's not the most glamorous part of the job, but it's essential. Information is the currency of your world, and you've just gathered more than enough to carry out your next steps. As the patrons begin to leave, their laughter fading into the cool night air, you rise from your seat, your task complete. The mission for tonight is over. But like all good ninja, you know that your work is never truly finished. There's always more to uncover, always more to learn. You slip out of the tavern, blending into the shadows once again. No one notices your departure. You've been here, but you've never really been here at all. The streets of the village are now bathed in an eerie silence, save for the soft rustling of wind in the trees and the occasional call of a night bird. You slip through the alleys, blending with the darkness, your mind still buzzing with the information you've gathered. Your target has been identified, and the details are clear. Now it's time for action. The real art of a ninja isn't just in the gathering of secrets, it's in how you use them. A subtle sabotage, a quiet elimination, or even a carefully placed rumor can be the key to shifting the balance. Tonight, your mission is sabotage, a small but crucial task that could change the course of your enemy's plans. You make your way toward the outskirts of the village, where the enemy's supply depot lies hidden in the trees. It's a place you've visited before, a small wooden structure tucked behind thick foliage, unguarded and unnoticed by most. To the casual observer, it's just another storage shed. But for you, it's the perfect target. You've spent the last few days studying it, noting the routines of those who come and go. And now it's time to put your knowledge to the test. The key to sabotage is precision. You can't afford to make a sound, and you certainly can't afford to be seen. Every movement must be calculated, every action deliberate. You slip into the shadows, approaching the depot from the rear, where you know there's an access point, a small window that's just wide enough for you to slip through. You reach it quietly, your hand moving to check the lock. It's old and rusted, and with a small twist, it gives way. You're in. Historians still debate the methods used by ninjas when it came to sabotage. Some believe they used poison to subtly cripple their enemies, while others suggest they preferred more mechanical means, cutting ropes, setting fires, or even quietly disabling the enemy's weapons and supplies. What is clear is that the ninja's ability to make an enemy's machinery, weapons, or plans fall apart without ever being detected was a critical element of their success. And tonight, you are about to demonstrate that. Inside the depot, you move quickly and quietly. There are crates and barrels filled with food, weapons, and supplies, all vital to the enemy's operations. Your mission is simple: disrupt their flow, damage their resources, and make it all look like an accident. With practiced hands, you begin your work, carefully placing small charges near the crates of food, tampering with the mechanisms of the weapons stored inside. You're not trying to destroy everything, just enough to cause confusion, to slow them down, to make their next move more difficult. You move from crate to crate, your hands working faster now, but always with the same quiet precision. Every task is methodical, every action purposeful. You slip into the shadows once more, making sure to leave no trace of your presence. The work is done. You have left your mark, and now all you have to do is wait. As you exit the depot, you hear the faint sound of footsteps approaching. You freeze, holding your breath, listening. But the noise is not from guards, it's from someone else, someone who has just noticed the disturbance. You can hear them grumbling to themselves, wondering what's happened to their supplies. You smile to yourself, knowing that your work is already starting to have an effect. But the job isn't finished yet. The night is still young, and you've got more to do. Historians often emphasize the ninja's ability to sabotage without leaving a trace, to make their enemies' resources disappear without ever touching them directly. You've just proven that skill. The enemy will be in chaos soon enough, and you will be far away, your job complete. You slip back into the darkness, blending seamlessly into the night. Just another shadow moving through the streets. No one saw you, no one heard you, and by the time they realize what's happened, you'll be long gone. As the hours stretch into the night, the village remains cloaked in darkness, save for the occasional flicker of lantern light peeking from windows. You've done what you came to do, and yet the quiet call of the night beckons you once more. A real ninja is never truly off-duty. There's always someone or something that needs to be taken care of, whether it's a covert mission, a shadowy target, or a quiet strike in the dark. Tonight, it's the latter. You've been given your assignment an enemy who's become too dangerous, too aware of the shifting balance of power. This is no simple task. The target is well protected, but even the best-laid defenses are no match for the skill of a ninja. Tonight, you'll eliminate them quietly, swiftly, and without a trace. It's the most delicate work a ninja can perform, leaving no evidence, no witness, no sound. It's the art of the silent kill. You've scouted your target's home, a large, lavish residence on the outskirts of the village. Guards patrol the area, but they're not paying attention. They don't need to. They think they're safe. They think they're secure. But you know better. The shadows are your allies, and in the stillness of the night, you become one with them. With a deep breath, you move, slipping into the shadows as naturally as breathing, your body light and silent. Every movement is deliberate, every step calculated. The guards don't even know you're there. By the time they realize, it'll be too late. Historians still debate the ninjas' tactics when it came to assassinations. Some claim they preferred to poison their targets, using subtle, undetectable methods. Others believe they favored more direct approaches, such as the swift strike of a blade or the silent release of a garrote. But the truth is, the ninja was always adaptable. The weapon, the method, it all depended on the situation. And tonight, your weapon of choice is a blade, one that gleams faintly in the moonlight as you hold it in your hand. You approach the building with care, your eyes scanning for any sign of movement. The guards are near, but you are closer. You move silently along the outer walls, avoiding the paths where patrols are more frequent, until you find a small, barely noticeable window. With one quick motion, you slip through it, entering the home undetected. Inside, the house is eerily quiet, save for the soft creak of floorboards beneath your feet. The target's quarters are ahead, and you can feel your pulse quicken with the anticipation of the kill. You make your way down the narrow hall, the air thick with tension. There, in the darkened room ahead, is your target. The figure lies asleep, unaware of the danger that looms over them. This is the moment you've been waiting for, the perfect opportunity to strike. You approach the bed with the precision of a trained predator, every movement smooth and controlled. You can hear the soft, steady breaths of the target, unaware of the danger. Historians often romanticize the ninja's ability to kill with ease. But the truth is, the process was never simple. It required immense focus, discipline, and control. You know that one wrong move could result in failure, that one sound could give you away. But you don't allow fear to take hold. Instead, you remain focused, your breathing slow and deliberate. With one fluid motion, you strike, your blade sinking into your target with quiet finality. It's done. Another mission complete. You stand over your target, your mind already moving on to the next task. There is no time for reflection, no space for remorse. A ninja doesn't dwell on their actions, they simply move on to the next. With your mission complete, you slip back into the shadows, moving away from the house as silently as you entered. The night is still young, and there's always more to do. Historians still argue over the psychological toll that assassination took on the ninja. Was it something they could easily disconnect from, or did it haunt them, even if they never spoke of it? For you, it's simple. This is your job, and it's one you've done countless times before. You don't dwell on the killing, you focus on what's next. And right now, what's next is returning to the village and reporting your success. You move back into the shadows, disappearing into the night. No one saw you, no one heard you, and by the time the morning light breaks, you'll be long gone, having left no trace of your presence. It's the way of the ninja, silent, unseen, and always just out of reach. The moon hangs high in the sky, its silver light casting long, jagged shadows over the village streets. You've completed your mission, another task executed flawlessly, and yet the world continues on, oblivious to the shadowy work you've done. As a ninja, it's not about the recognition or the praise. It's about the silent success of your mission. You don't need to be acknowledged. Your actions speak for themselves. But even with the quiet satisfaction of a job well done, you know your work isn't over. There is always more to do, always another layer to uncover. You make your way back to the village, moving through the silent streets, careful to avoid any patrolling guards or villagers who might still be awake. The night is deep, and the village is quiet, save for the distant sounds of crickets and the occasional rustle of leaves in the wind. As you reach the hidden entrance to the ninja village, you slip past the small, inconspicuous guard post, careful not to be seen. The guard stationed there is half asleep, his head resting against the stone wall. It's no surprise, he's probably exhausted from a long shift, and the quiet night provides little threat. Inside the village, the atmosphere shifts. It's not a place of comfort, but it's a place of familiarity. You've been here countless times before. The buildings are simple and utilitarian, designed for functionality rather than beauty. But that's all you need. This village is where you live, where you train, and where you rest between missions. It's your sanctuary, a place where no one can find you unless you let them. The flickering light from lanterns casts a soft glow on the walls, creating long shadows that dance around you as you walk. Historians still debate the structure of the ninja community. Some believe they operated as loose, independent groups, while others suggest that they were part of larger, more organized clans with a clear hierarchy. Regardless of the structure, what remains consistent is that the ninja lived apart from the rest of society. They had to hiding in plain sight meant remaining unseen, untraceable. The ninja's village was a place where you could be yourself, but only in the shadow of secrecy. You head toward the central building, where the elder ninja waits to hear your report. The elder is not one to be seen often. They are a figure shrouded in mystery, a person whose skills and experience are known, but rarely demonstrated. They know everything that happens in the village, and nothing escapes their notice. As you approach the building, you pause for a moment, taking in the cool night air. The weight of the day's missions settles over you like a cloak. You are physically tired, but your mind is alert, always ready for the next challenge. Inside, the elder is waiting for you, sitting cross-legged on a low mat, their eyes closed. When they open them, their gaze is sharp, assessing, but there is no judgment. There is only quiet expectation. You kneel before them and offer a simple, respectful bow. This is how things are done in the ninja world. No words are needed. The elder gestures for you to report, and you recount the details of the mission. How you infiltrated the enemy's stronghold, how you completed your task, and how the target has been dealt with. The elder listens intently, their face impassive, absorbing every detail without interrupting. You finish your report, and for a moment there is silence. The elder nods slowly, their eyes never leaving yours. You know what's coming next. There is always something more to learn, something more to perfect. Tonight, they will offer you guidance, perhaps a lesson in technique, or a reminder of the values you hold as a ninja. This is where the real growth happens, not in the missions you complete, but in the moments like this when you reflect on your actions and consider how you can become better, stronger, more elusive. The elder speaks softly, their voice like the whisper of wind through the trees. They commend your work, but they remind you that every mission carries weight. The life of a ninja is a constant balance between duty and self. You must remain vigilant, focused, and never lose sight of the code that guides you. It's a reminder that no matter how successful your missions may be, you are always striving for perfection. The work is never truly done, and neither are you. With that, the elder dismisses you, and you rise to your feet. The conversation lingers in your mind as you leave the building and step back into the night. The weight of your responsibilities feels heavier now, but you accept it. This is your life, the quiet work, the hidden missions, the constant journey toward mastery. And though you know there will always be more to do, more targets to strike, more information to gather, for now, you can rest. Tomorrow is another day, and when it comes, you will be ready. The village falls into a deep, peaceful silence as you make your way back to your quarters. The weight of the day's events lingers, but the night calls for rest. In the world of a ninja, rest is a luxury that doesn't come often. You are always preparing for what lies ahead, always sharpening your mind and body, always on edge, ready for the next mission. But tonight is different. For tonight, you allow yourself a moment of calm, a rare opportunity to reflect on the life you lead, the life of a shadow, a phantom moving unseen through the world. You enter your small, simple room. The walls are bare, save for a few tools of your trade in old katana resting against the corner, a weathered map on the wall with scribbles and markings indicating key targets and routes. The room is quiet, intimate, and functional. You sit down on your mat, stretching your legs in front of you. The coolness of the floor seeps into your skin, grounding you after the intensity of the night. There is no luxury here, no adornment, no comfort, only the essential. But that's how you like it. As a ninja, you are trained to live with nothing more than what you need. And in this room, you find everything you require. Historians often romanticize the ninja's life as one of adventure, filled with daring missions and thrilling battles. The truth, however, is far more understated. Most of a ninja's life is spent in preparation, in quiet moments like this one, where every motion and every thought is aimed at improving oneself. The life of a ninja is not one of glory. It's one of constant vigilance, constant readiness. It's a life where your skills are your currency, and every day is spent honing them further. As you prepare to rest, you go over the events of the day once more in your mind. The missions, the targets, the people you encountered, all of it is part of a greater plan, a larger strategy. But it's not something you dwell on. You close your eyes and let the quiet of the room wash over you, allowing the stillness to fill your mind. Tomorrow, there will be more work to do. There will be more intelligence to gather, more enemies to strike, more shadows to slip into. But for now, you let go of the weight of the day, knowing that when the time comes, you will be ready to face whatever challenge arises. Your breathing slows, and the tension in your muscles begins to melt away. It's a rare moment of peace in a life that demands constant motion. But as a ninja, you've learned to find solace in these brief moments, these fleeting seconds of quiet before the storm of the next mission. You drift off into a light sleep, your body resting, but your mind always alert, always ready. As you sleep, you are reminded that the life of a ninja is never truly quiet. There is always more to learn, always more to do, always another mission waiting just beyond the horizon. But for tonight, you rest ready to face whatever comes with the dawn.